All right, we are live. Hopefully, I'll just do a quick mic check to make sure that the mic is good, no interference. If anybody can give me a thumbs up or say they can hear me. Yes, no, maybe so. All right, well, I'm hoping that everybody can hear me. So, this is obviously the first time that I go live to everyone on YouTube. In previous live session, I did just for members in my Discord. Okay, cool. Sounds good. So yeah, I had done a live session before just for members in Discord. If you're not a member of my Discord server, I highly suggest look in the description and join the server. One, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody in the community that has supported my channel, supported the strategies that I have been putting out there, and it's honestly it's a great place to learn the strategies, not only the ones that I trade every single morning, but people have come up with alternatives to my strategy. Some people have added filters or confluences. For those of you that have followed me for so long, you guys know that I try to keep price action on charts very simple. The strategies that I have chosen in gold and in oil are really just based off of an inside bar strategy. And what I have found through my back testing for 6 to 8 months is that these inside bars do give a very good indication of consolidation in the market. And we're only looking for very, very temporary moves. So we're looking for a quick burst to a very specific stop loss, a very specific take profit. If you're new to the channel, the links to my updated videos on all of my strategies are listed in each one of my videos and in the description below. So with that being said, the morning strategies it's a very simple type of strategy just because of the fact that you have very clear conditions, very clear rules. And it doesn't allow you to overtrade, which was my biggest problem in trading for honestly 2.5 years. I've been very public about my struggles with trading before I switched over to this more rule and condition based trading. That has been the biggest change that I have made that has consistently gotten my cash accounts into the green, finally able to pass evaluations through Top Step, funding and taking payouts. There's another really small, well, it's not small, it's a big thing in trading that a lot of people don't talk about, and that is the actual funded part of your prop firm. I know some people use Apex, some people use Top Step. It doesn't honestly matter which one you use, but passing the eval is the first step. And it's a huge hump because at least at that point, you know that whatever strategy you have is obviously working. Now, there are some people that can pass an eval in a day or two. They take some Hail Mary trades and they get passed. But are you going to continue with that Hail Mary strategy once you're funded? The goal is obviously to get a payout. We constantly are putting money into these evals. You know, they're small monthly dollar amounts, so people don't usually think about it, but it adds up. It'll definitely start to add up. And if you don't start taking some payouts from funded accounts, what is it exactly that we're doing? One, you can use it as a practice. You can use it as a practice, to not put in cash. I started my journey strictly in cash. I trade in my cash accounts through NinjaTrader every single day. And I'll be the first one to admit that in the beginning, all I was doing was constantly refunding my cash accounts, making withdrawals from my Chase checking account into my NinjaTrader. I've made videos on it. I don't shy away from it because I know that it was a big issue. And finally, when I was able to earn some funded accounts through NinjaTrader, my main goal was at least to get some payouts. And I was able to take some really nice payouts when back in probably December and in early January, based really off of the Rob reversal. It was my biggest payouts from that. But then when you start doing the math and you start doing budgeting, you start to see that you want to make sure that you see how much you are putting into the evals and try to take that first funded payout to at least cover those costs. And if you can do that, you're at least break even. And then the goal after that would be is steady, slow and steady profits. And for me, the only way that I was able to do that is through systematic, very mechanical based trading. Now, I know probably going back a few months, I started to put up levels on pretty much the ES, the YM, and the NQ. And my main focus for that was over the last 6 to 8 months, I have been really, really trying to study those charts and to try to see what the market tries to do every single day. There's a ton of strategies out there. There is a ton of indicators that are out there. There's VWAP. There is EMAs that you can add to it. There's volume profile. There's a lot of different ways to trade. What I found was there is a very simple way to look at charts and to try to find these levels that are tradable. And the issue that I have, and the reason why I don't put cash into these levels, is that I still don't feel 100% comfortable with them, because that style of trading, the over trading or revenge trading, will start to creep in really, really quick. So what I have done is I've pretty much limited myself to one single trade on the levels every single day, win or lose. And I post them in Discord. I show them in the videos what I do. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to try to find here. I'm probably not going to be able to, well, we'll see. I'll try to trade them. But I'm going to have to try to find an area where we kind of get a break between oil and gold. So just so everyone knows, you've got oil inventory day this morning at 9:30 Central Time. Now, oil inventory, since I started looking at this strategy, in the beginning, I did not want to trade on these Wednesdays, just because, or I would take a trade in session 1, which is from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Session 2 will bring in that oil inventory report. And what we typically see during that report is a very, very strong reaction to that report. And of course, if you're in a trade, my feeling is that the edge on the strategy starts to kind of diminish, because one, yes, the trade might go in our way, but we might get a spike, a very quick spike that knocks our stop loss off and then continues to take profit. Or in many cases, you'll get a straight spike that goes right into take profit. So as of right now, we've got a setup forming in oil, which is on my left-hand side of the chart. Just want to make sure that, 809, so we're good. So I use an indicator that I purchased through Trade Devils that makes my order entry pretty easy. I am going to start testing one other one that I have found that seems to not only have these functions, but even adds a little few more others. And I'll show you how easy it is to get on this trade. If I click on buy up, it's going to straddle, and sell down, it's going to straddle this order. So you can see that my orders are already in. I mean, it was just a really quick click of the mouse, and those orders now are pretty much straddling that inside bar. And now at this point, all I'm doing is I'm just waiting for price action to determine which way the market wants to go. Hopefully we get a winner here this morning. All right, so we get activated here now into the short. I will bring my stop loss down to the top of this source bar. We're looking for 26 ticks. And I put my take profit at 26 ticks. At this point, I don't need to manage this trade. I don't need to manage this trade at all. The only thing now I'm looking for is if we can hit about 70% take profit, I will reduce my risk down by 50%. One of the trade management system that I'm going to start evaluating will also give me a kind of like a little fib retracement tool in there. And I think it'll make this style of trading even much easier. So like right now I'm eyeballing it. Did that go to 70%? Probably pretty close. I think I'll just wait to see if we get one more push here. And if we get another push down, then I'll reduce my risk down to 50%. Another change that I had to do was I started to trade oil session 1, which for those that have been watching the channel has, I would say pretty much August through like December was very, very strong. And then we had end of December, January, and February that weren't very good months with it. March started to really show oil session 1 starting to show very strong numbers, and I have added it. The issue that I have with adding oil session 1 is I'm trading this on an eval. I'm actually not trading in cash right now because I've got this live software that is pretty much taking up my entire screen, and it's just a little bit difficult to concentrate on everything at the same time. So I'm going to concentrate just on the eval. But on this 50K top step evaluation that I have, it allows me to trade a maximum of 5 contracts. It does an E-mini or micro, which is the one thing I really honestly don't like, is I think that the ratios are off. If they're giving you, let's just say two E-minis, they should give you 20 micros to trade, which is the same risk profile, but that's neither here nor there. My issue is that these trades will happen many times at the exact same time. So gold, which is on my right-hand side over here, and then oil, which is on my left-hand side. So I had to figure in a way where I can still get in 5 micros and be able to trade these at the same time. So I'm trading currently gold at 2 micro contracts, and I am trading oil at 3 micro contracts. So if I do get into both of them at the same time, I'm still within that 5 micro limit. And now at this point in oil, we're just looking for one more kind of continuation push downwards. Hopefully we get it. That would be fantastic. And yeah, no, you're right, Matt. Apex, they offer much different types of structure. So just figure out, I have an affiliation obviously with Top Step. Honestly, I don't care which funding account you go with. Just make sure you're comfortable with it, and you look at trailing drawdown, what type of position sizing you can do, because there's good and bad, I think, of each prop firm, at least the ones that I have looked at, and also based on a lot of the videos that I watch from other YouTubers that kind of compare all of them. Another thing that I'll say, and this might confuse some people, is that I am trading on the micro version of these contracts, but I am basing my trade off of the CL and the GC. So on my left-hand side, I've got four screens that I have gold up and I have the CL up. Now, is it perfect? No. Is that a way to kind of cause some mistakes? Yes. But again, coming up shortly, I think that with this new entry system that I'm looking at, it might solve that issue for me and for a lot of the people that are watching or that are watching this channel. So based on that, I will only get into an inside bar setup if the CL is showing the same inside bar. Many times we'll get, let's see if hopefully we can get here a last little push in oil. So 45. So yeah, we're probably close to 70% where we're at before. And I know some people are like, well, just put a fib retracement tool up or you can measure it. When I'm in a trade, honestly, I'm also videoing this stuff. So I just don't want to fumble anything at this point. So here I'll reduce my risk down from, what is it, 84. I don't even have the right target in, to 44 bucks. And this target is actually supposed to be, I think it was 84. So I just made this trade even a little harder. So there you go. Even on live, I can make a mistake. So I didn't even match up my stop loss and my take profit, but that probably would have hit right there. Let me just measure it out here on the CL. Let's see what we get. Be nice if it just hits my take profit and I don't even have to worry about it, but 27 ticks is what we're looking for. Damn, that looks like it would have hit it. 28 ticks. Shitballs. 27 ticks is what I got on the CL. So even here, I mean, probably not the best trading already right off the bat. Probably, let me just see on the, what you need is 50 microseries, fine, short. All right, well, hopefully those that are trading it, let me know if you guys hit. No, it looks like it would have been a tick short anyways, so hopefully we get this push down here. And that's a nice thing too about the Discord, is that there's so many people that are trading the similar strategy that, you know, you'll pretty much know when there's a setup, when you hit take profit. So I don't want to take a sip of my coffee. I usually don't take a sip of my coffee till the trade's done. So we're about $54 of profit here. Nothing yet in gold. Hopefully if we get a trade here, once we finish this trade in oil, I'll jump into the charts so I can kind of show you guys how I come up with my levels each day and kind of give an explanation on that. Still in. Okay. So at least I know that. Missed by one tick. I know. Sometimes it's the story of my life. So going back to the charts, and the reason for me trading off of the CL and the GC is that is honestly where all of the let's just call them the institutional whales, the big movement is off of the CL or the GC. So I'd rather be tied into that than the MCL, which trails it a little bit. It's not exact. There'll be many days where you'll see an inside bar for the MCL and you will not see a bar for the CL. And that's what I'd like to avoid. So hopefully here we can get another strong push down. Come on. This would be awesome for my first live session, first trade. And yes, who just had it? Peter, very superstitious. I got my money tree. I don't know if you guys can, yeah, you can see it right there in the video. I got my money tree behind there. Sometimes my wife will take the money tree and put it in front of a window for some sun, and I'll start trading the next morning and I'll take a look and I'll take a loss. And I, of course, think that has nothing to do with the market, that it has nothing to do with oil or gold. It has only to do with the money tree. So yeah, that is a dumb superstition thing that I have, but it's kind of guess keeps my mind going. Cursing, yeah. Sometimes I do curse on on my videos. My apologies. I'm running the algo. So yeah, there's another thing too is all of the strategies, at least the ones that I trade, are have been automated. They have been put into strategies. There is a member in my Discord. He's on here. His name is Matt, and he has graciously coded all three of the strategies for all of my setups each morning. I personally trade, and I'm going to give you guys. I'm going to put in the chat a website that you can go to that has all of the updated strategies that have been actually automated. So I trade the Rob reversal with the strategy just because that strategy is from 8:30 in the morning all the way up until 1:15 in the afternoon. And as you guys know, I am a full-time real estate agent. I own a Remax office here in Chicago. So pretty much after 10, I am pretty much gone. So I do leave that strategy running until 1:15. And it allows me not to be in front of the charts, which is great. Oil and gold, I do trade those manually. I don't know why. I mean, the bot does a fantastic job of it. But it still kind of gives me that feeling of trading. And, I'm not going to shy away from that. I love entering in. I love entering in orders. I love that kind of thrill side of trading. That's definitely something that has always appealed to me. So that kind of gives me at least that function of trading. So it looks like we came about a tick away from full take profit in oil session 1, and now we are right back to our entry point. Granted, I have reduced risk now in half, but would love to take a full take profit here. What platform is your indicator made for? So the indicator is made for NinjaTrader. There is some scripts that have been written for TradingView, but obviously that is not automated. That's more of just an indicator. And I believe that there might have been some people that have coded it for other platforms, but NinjaTrader is the one that I trade with, and that's the one that I know for sure. One, it works, and two, it's coded and ready to be downloaded. So we're now about 7 ticks away from a stop here in oil session 1, which again is a little unfortunate, but at least you're seeing it here now live. You guys see it in the videos each and every morning, or I should say every afternoon, which is when I post them. But we'll see. Never give up hope. Thanks for sharing your time, knowledge, and transparency. Hey, John, thanks so much for the kind words. Yeah, I think the one word that I really take out of there is transparency and time. Knowledge is something that I'm continuing to learn each and every day. I try to share what I feel that I have as far as knowledge on my mistakes. We're obviously all still trying to work on the... we're always trying to work to try to improve. Time is a hard one for me. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. The commitment that I put into making the videos each and every day, in the beginning it was, I don't want to say a novelty, but it was more kind of for me to have some accountability kind of for myself. Obviously, most people know I started with the Rob Anderson challenge. And I know a lot of people started watching me based on that. And then, but yeah, time is very tough for me just because of, I got 3 kids at home. 2 of them are in travel volleyball, travel softball, and I coach. They're in basketball at school. and I coach a majority of my girls' teams. So that does take up a lot of time. Work obviously takes up a lot of time. And then the third point is transparency. So transparency, I think, is a huge one that not only is missing in YouTube, but, and I feel like it's getting a little better. This is just my opinion. I think that, you know, there's a few channels that kind of like try to uncover the bullshit that a lot of YouTube gurus or YouTube people have you know, fake accounts or whatever it is that they're doing, only posting their winners or just putting out some extremely big claims. And I think that has actually caught on. I think that has maybe woken up some of the YouTube traders that are out there that that know that they might not be able to get away with a lot of their stuff. So transparency for me has always been huge. That's why I like to show every single trade. I like to show all my mistakes and everything that pretty much my whole trading life I have pretty much put out there in public. So it's all very, very public knowledge. God, I'm dying for a sip of my coffee. I'm going to do it just because I have to. There it goes. Let's see now. Maybe if now the buyers, of course, are going to probably step into oil. I will be getting. I promise you, I'll be getting into my levels very, very quickly. I would just like to see the conclusion of this trade. Hopefully, we can get here a little bit of a pause. Going back to my levels. So just to kind of explain that scenario. Do I feel 100% comfortable with my levels? No. Do I feel that I'm getting much better at them? Yes. Is there tradable opportunities? Yes. Here's one of the main reasons why I don't like making videos, and this is just me talking from the heart. The main reason why I don't like creating videos on levels is because it's very subjective. It's very discretionary. And I personally believe it's very difficult for a person on YouTube that's creating a video to teach a discretionary style of trading and really not have a lot of accountability or transparency. So the setups that I trade every morning, all three of them, everyone knows if they win or they lose. There is no doubt about that. There's no way to fake that. There's no way to change the stats or any of that. You know, yeah, you can make a mistake on it, but you can't fake it. And that is the one thing that I love about those strategies and making videos on that is that there's really no room for BS. On the levels, obviously I'm looking at it and I am taking somewhat of a discretionary style of trading on that because I'm looking at, you know, bounces in the market and I'm looking for price action to hit one of my key levels. And if I feel, that's the word right there, is feel. If I feel that we're going to get a bounce there, I'll take a trade. Where in these type of strategies and in oil and gold, and they're not the fanciest strategies, they're not the most, they're not the sexiest strategies that are out there, obviously, but it takes all the guesswork out. It just makes trading easier, to be honest with you. And is the win rate fantastic? Maybe not. We sometimes average between around 60 to 65% win rate. But the way I look at it is if you're only taking 1 or 2 trades per day, max 3 if you're trading all 3 sessions, you can't overtrade. You can't revenge trade. And in my past, unless you're an awesome trader, then you really can't come back and try to get it back into the market and take another trade. Well, I mean, I guess you obviously can, but that you know at that point that you've broken your rules and you've broken your conditions. The nice thing with me is that I have to keep the stats on all of the strategies and I've got to, everything has to match up. So you really can't take extra trades. It really does give you a very nice level of confidence and oh, big move here in gold. That was a big spike right there. Let's see if now oil might follow along. Another question I get is, yeah, oil and gold do not follow. You know, they're obviously commodity markets, but they don't follow them right to the tick. It's not like the ES and the NQ that pretty much follow each other pretty well. Not to say that we're not going to get a spike here in oil. We might. But many times there's situations where gold's going down, oil's going up. And it just kind of depends, too, on what's going on in the global markets, which I made a video about the other day. And that one came out to be pretty damn accurate. When you're in time of uncertainty like we are right now, especially since we have conflicts in the Middle East, a lot of the oil's being produced there, that will affect the markets. And I believe we had a news report that there was, you know, sanctions that was going to be placed in on the U.S. and that made the commodity markets completely spike. And so you just kind of have to be aware of what news are going on. So it looks like we might get stopped out of this oil session 1. We're about 5 ticks away, so we'll see here what happens. So if you're in the Howard, if you're on the website, you can just click. Let me see if I can pull it up. Take a pause here from that. All right, so if you're on my website here, if you click on indicators, and not only do I've got the strategy here for each, I've got the video for each strategy, I got the rules, and then how to install them. So please make sure to read this because there's some instructions that you need to do so that once you're activated. Here is the strategy. So this zip right here, you download and install that into NinjaTrader and you're good to go. There's also just the indicator. So if you're just looking for the setups, the arrows that I show each morning, morning oil strategy is also here with the rules and how to download them. Remember that oil and gold are the same strategies. It's a same file. But if you're going to be trading oil, just put oil, which is the default, on the oil chart. And in your gold chart, all you have to do is you click on the bottom for the template and just choose gold, and it'll make it follow my morning strategies to the T. Okay. And then let's pull this guy up. So we get, of course, as I'm talking, we get knocked out. So we got knocked out of oil session 1. So currently down 45 bucks. That sucked. So damn close too. It's funny because where my original target would have taken a full take profit, but it wasn't part of the strategy, it wasn't part of the rules. So it is what it is. All right, so now we got an opportunity. Let's look at the levels. Obviously, I'll take a look at gold on my other chart to see if what we got going on. Okay, so I'm going to be taking a look at the ES. We're going to map out the ES here this morning, and I'll kind of explain to you. For those of you that were on my first live session, I kind of gave a brief description of this already. But it's honestly very simple. What I'm looking for, some people call them order blocks. You know, I have probably never watched. I've watched some videos on ICT, but after about 5-10 minutes, I have a hard time following it. So I might be talking about terms that are called something different with other traders or other strategies or concepts. My apologies, but this is what I know them as. What I am really looking for is a scenario like this one right right here. Okay, so where I get a down bar and then I get so you get a few down bars, strong down bars, and then you get one bar that goes right back up. Okay, and then from there, you're getting some pretty decent movement. So right here, I would, at the 15 minutes, so I'll start on the 15-minute level, and I will put in a solid blue line, which means that it's on a bigger time frame, on the 15-minute time frame. I will then look for another level that just happened, which is right here. So this was, again, 3 strong bars up. Now we got a strong push downwards. That to me means that this is a level that there was some interest in the marketplace. In between here, yes, I can make a case for this one here as well. Now, the only difference here is that what you'd really like to see is that you don't want price action to sweep back down into it, okay? Because if it's swept back into it, then obviously that level starts to diminish somewhat. And all I'm looking for are the few closest levels to price action. Here we've got nothing, but what do we see here? Obviously a huge gap in the market. So what I'll do is I'll just put a rectangle from the start of this gap to the bottom of this gap right here. Now, I will not necessarily trade this gap here. That's something that I really want people to know, is that I find it very difficult to trade this. Some people will trade to the tap. Some people will trade to the fill. Some people will trade to the rejection of this gap. I just find this very difficult to trade. So I am, again, just looking for levels that I can put orders in. And then above here, I mean, you'd have to go all the way up to up here to find another level. Let's just call it right there. So those are my levels on the 15-minute time frame. Now what I will do is I will jump into a 5-minute time frame. And now see, I'm looking for the exact same thing. I'm looking to see where price action had some movement. So right here is a good example. You had 3 up bars, you had a down bar, and then you had movement going out of that bar. So I could very easily say right here, and I'll change this to a dotted line that indicates to me that this is a weaker level. It's on a lower time frame, but very tradable, very, very tradable. Let's see right here. I found another one. So I've got 3 up bars, I got a strong down bar, and then I got a lot of movement coming out of it. So I will map this level right here. This is another trading opportunity. I find another one right here. You've got some up, you've got a pretty strong down bar, and then you've got strong movement out of it. So the point is to not put 1,000 levels on your chart, but you do want to have, if you can find some levels that are close to each other, in my opinion, it becomes much easier to trade, just because now you have clear and concise stop losses and even take profits. Here's another good example right here. You've got that. This is a level that I would see, just because you had some movement, but you had a strong move out of it. So this is an area where I can see price action wanting to tap into, and we might get a bounce. Now you got to remember, on the ES, depending on what type of contract sizing you're using, you can, if you take 4 or 5 points from the market, that's $200 to $250 that you're grabbing. So you don't need huge moves when you're trading the ES. My opinion, I find it much easier to trade this style on the ES than I do on the NQ and the YM. They just move much, much faster. You've got to have, I think, a little bit bigger stops. That's why on the Rob reversal, I've got a 35-point stop on there. And even that, in many cases, is not enough for the continued move. The ES is much different. Unless something really wacky comes out, or you're in a scenario like this right here. If price action was to come up to here, you could see a move to fill this entire gap, which would be a huge, huge move. And this is for me, it's very difficult to trade. Now, if price action came right back down to here, to this level at 5107, I can very easily say that this is a trading opportunity and put my stop underneath this strong level. You could even say, put your stop loss right at the bottom of this candle right here and look for a move of maybe 5 points. That to me would be a tradable opportunity. Now, could we have a trade up here? Yeah, you could take a bounce, a short from up here, but then where's your stop loss going to go? Is your stop loss going to be, let's just say you take a bounce from this level at 51.18. Are you going to put your stop loss at the top of this gap, which is at 10 points? Because I don't see any other price action, maybe besides the high of this candle right here, that would entice me to say that's a clear stop in my opinion. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for tradable opportunities. Another example would be down here. If price action could get down here, and let's just say you want to take this first line. You could put your stop right here back at 6 points, and then now you've got a very easy level to go right back up to at 9.5 points. So now your risk to reward is about close to 1.5. And honestly, that's a fantastic, this would be something that I would look for. I'll even leave these here. And yes, I might trade it. We'll see kind of here what's kind of been going on. I am currently on this eval sitting at 52,819. I need about $180 to fund this account, which is the account that I've been pretty much just trading for like the last month and a half just on the levels. And I've been taking one trade a day. Some days I have $300 winners, $500 winners. Many days I've had $500 losers, but I stick with the plan of one trade per day. And just to have some fun, let's just put in an order here. Let's do a limit buy, and I'll place this right at my order. Another reason why I like the levels. Let me just look at gold. Gold is we'll come right back to this one. So gold's got a setup right now, but there's still 2 minutes left on this chart. Let me see, Morgan, how long do you leave the levels on your charts? So Bruce, the levels that have never been touched that I map out, if they have not been touched by price action, I'll leave them for the next day. If they're way out there, and I know I don't, I would find it very difficult for price action to get back up there. I'll just leave them as blue. But if they're very close levels that have not been tapped into, I will usually turn them into a red level, meaning that it's something that I mapped out the previous day. And that's just something that mentally I do so that I know that I've kind of already looked at that line. Sometimes you'll leave a line on the chart and it might have been a line that price action's already tapped into it. Once it taps into it once, especially twice, for me, it's untradeable at that point. I think it loses a lot of its value. So I think the high on this one was 24.097, 24.09. Okay, so let's go back to the levels here so I can finish this conversation. Here's a reason why I also like to trade these levels is that, and many of you might be able to relate, especially on this style of trading. How many times do you get that feeling that you think that price action is going in the direction where your setup is? So obviously I'm thinking that the market's gonna come to this level and give me a bounce. Okay, that's my thought process here. Now you could be right here, okay, at 51.09. So the level that I'm trading at is at 51.07, but you can say, right at the 51.09, you see price action starting to go up. And what I did before, and maybe a lot of you can relate on the channel, is that, oh crap, I missed the move. I missed the move. Let me jump in. And when you jump in, you're typically jumping in on a market order, and you're getting probably some slippage on there, and you're not buying in at the best price. Okay? Many times I will not get into a trade because of a tick. Just like how we lost oil session 1 because of one tick, many times on these level trades, I will miss my entry by a tick and the market goes without me. And it's frustrating. But there's also many times where I'll just jump in because I missed the level. And what does it do? It reverses right back down to touch that level and stops you out. Or now you've bought in at a much worse price where now your stop loss needs to be increased. So that's why I like to trade specifically the levels. I'll keep this limit order. Honestly, I'll keep it. I have it set to a bracket order of $300, which is 6 points of stop loss or take profit on the ES. So automatically, if this gets in, it's going to go to an automatic bracket order. Now, do I keep it to that bracket order? Not necessarily. Not all the time. I will adjust them up and down depending on, like, for instance, right here. If we were to get a trade down here and it was to tap into this level, I would really be looking at this level for a take profit. Now that's 9.5 points. That's a huge trade. That's almost $500. Now, would I stay into the whole time? It's a little bit difficult. That's where the discretionary side of these trades and these levels come into play. It's not as clear cut and easy to explain and it's emotional. I mean, let's just say it for what it is. There's a lot more emotion that gets played in. Now, if we break through this level right here, remember I said this before, this could be a very high risk trade right here on the bounce of here. And the reason why I said that is because I don't have much faith above here for a clear stop. That's why I am not even entertaining this trade here. Now, will we get a bounce down from here? Possibly. This, for me, is a much more tradable opportunity than I see up here. So let's just take a look at the NQ. And I'll map that one as well so we can get a few examples here. All right, so I think all the levels, we'll see. Here's an example. Like, we got a level up here at 18,104, which is about almost 170 points above price action. I'll just leave it. I'm not really looking at that one right now. But if I go to the 15-minute, let me just show you why these gaps are in here. So you've got a gap here on the 15. This is actually a 5-minute gap, but if I wanted to draw this out on the 15-minute, that's a huge gap. Like, there's no price action here. There's no stop loss. There's no clear entry for me. There's no clear entry at all. Like, I don't see it. So I will not trade this. It's a very difficult area to trade. Now, what I will trade, and the reason why you see this box, which I've had up on here for maybe 3 or 4 days, is that we had a huge, if I can find it, here we go. It was this huge move here that we had from the 24th of February. Just a huge gap, and I believe that might have been FOMC. I'm not sure, don't quote me. But there was a big news event that day that caused price action. And as you can see, price action has tried to fill it, but has not filled it completely. So let me just delete this so I can make this a little bit easier for you guys to see. But like, it tried filling this gap and it got a good rejection out of it. Some people will play that. Will play the gap and the rejection out of the gap. There is no setup in gold for those that are trading that. I'm watching gold on my other monitor. But let's take a look at the levels. So I start again at the 15-minute time frame. I am looking for kind of opposite candles where we get a decent move out. And this is one that I see right here. So I will map that one. And again, on the 15-minute, I will change it to a solid line. That indicates to me that this is on a 15-minute time frame. Now I got another level. Let me just delete this gap, or you know what, let me just move this gap here so I can still see it. Same thing here, opposite candles, strong move out. So I will map this on the 15-minute. These are the two closest levels to price action. Just from there, and I don't think that there's, see, you got a big gap here. The only other thing that you can say is maybe you can trade this wick up here. I don't like it. It just, to me, it's not what I'm looking for. These are the kind of like the little blocks that I'm looking for to trade on the 15-minute. Now, if I move down to the 5-minute, which I consider to be very tradable, here we go. Very easy. We find one right here. Let me move this to a dotted line. So you've got a strong push down, and then we got a strong movement out. And I'm just putting my level right where it intersects both of them, both of those bodies. Now, to the tick, to the point, it's difficult. You know, sometimes you'll put this line here, and it might come a point away from tapping into it, and it leaves without you. It is what it is. I know I can't control that. I also don't like trading boxes. I don't like trading zones. I know a lot of people promote zones. I don't like that. Here's another one right here. So this is exactly what I'm looking for. Down bars, strong up bar out. And I'm putting my line intersecting the bottom of this candle right here, okay? And then what else do I see? It's pretty much it. Because the reason why I don't like this one, let me just draw this line in, is because price action already tapped right into it. Tapped into it right here. Arrow marker right there. Oh, so we're in a trade on the ES. Let's take a look at that. Let's see what happens. So I only need $200 to fund this account. So let me just move this guy to $200 and we'll see. Maybe we can, I'll put this to my stop right where I thought. So right there. And maybe together we can get a funded account together. That would be something. How long in charts do you go? I don't go back. I try to go back as far as I need to find levels. Honestly, on the 15-minute and the 5-minute, you'll probably find levels very quickly. You won't need to go out more than a day or two unless it's a weekend in between. And now it's just a waiting game. So obviously my risk to reward sucks here because I'm risking like 275 to make 200, but I'm only doing that because on this eval I only need about $190 probably with commissions to pass that account. So that's the reason why my risk to reward here sucks. Still no setup in gold, so don't worry about that. I'm still tracking that one as well. So like even here, I mean, we're at 162, 175. I mean, damn, that's like $20 away from doing it. Let's go. What strategy? I got a hard time reading the last. Would you mind reviewing how you draw these levels again? Sorry if I missed it already and jumped in. Yeah, Justin, I was just mapping out the NQ. We got into a trade here. All right, there we go. We funded it. $53,016. Funded the account on live YouTube. That's exciting. So right there, I mean, a perfect example of what I marked out for my level. I had a clear stop loss. Obviously, I had a clear take profit just because it's what I needed to pass that eval. But there you go. That's kind of, I guess I couldn't do it any better than that. Let's jump into, yes, Alex, that is a banger. And for those of you that don't know, every time I get a win, I like to say that it's a banger. So, and I post that on Discord a lot, obviously, each and every morning. Let's jump into the NQ so we can finish out that chart here as well. NQ. Okay, no setup in gold. So we started off again on the 15-minute time frame. So the 15-minute time frame are my two blue solid lines. We'll just move into the 15-minute really quick. And again, I'm just looking for where price action moved up, came down. We're looking for opposite candles and then a very strong move out of that opposite candle. So right here is my level and my 15-minute. And I like to do at least two levels on the 15-minute, the higher time frame. Sometimes if I can find four, that's awesome. But above me, my level would be right here at 17,958. And the reason for that level is you've got a strong up bar, you then have an opposite candle, and you have strong movement below it. So this to me would be a level on the 15-minute. Okay, and that's why I marked them off as solid lines. Now I jump down to the right here. Great, look at this opportunity right there. I mean, hits right to the level that we already just marked off on the 15-minute. And right there, you've got a movement of about almost 20 points. So on the NASDAQ, that's 400 bucks. And this just keeps repeating itself constantly. At least that's what I found in my back testing. It's the most easiest way for me to trade, just trading on a chart like this. So let's move down to the 5-minute just so I can explain where these levels came from. I can explain it one more time. Here's the level right here. So again, strong up bar, opposite candle, very strong movement out. So I know that this level right here at 17,882 is a level of high interest. Actually, I don't think I marked this one because I said it was going to be tapping into here, which it already had done. I think it did this for instructional purposes. But it did respect it somewhat here and gave you a really nice bounce off of that level. Here's another level right down here at the 17,868. Again, 3 down bars. Actually, the number of down bars is kind of irrelevant, but the more you have, the better. And then what we're doing is we're looking for that opposite candle with a very strong push upwards. So right here, this level at 17,868, which price action is coming to right here, would be an area that, again, I think is tradable. Well, there's a big gap here. So this would be much riskier in my opinion. Let's see, you would get 15 points. And if you, let's just say 1.25 risk to reward, which kind of sucks, I would not trade this. This is just, I'm just saying this personally. I would not trade this. I would rather trade this level where I've got a level that I could put a clear stop, okay, underneath this strong line, and I have a level that I can bounce back up to. So I've got 27 points that I would be looking for on profit, and I've got 18 points on my stop loss. This to me on the NQ is the only trade that I would really look for right now. And will price action get down there? Yeah, I mean, that's 40 points away. I mean, the NQ moves like an absolute beast. Dan Flynn, thank you so much for the super chat. That's really, really appreciated. Alex Puig, thank you for the super chat. That was super appreciated as well. I really appreciate all the support, guys, that I get from you guys. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty fantastic. But again, so this is a level here that I would consider trading because the gap isn't so big. You've got a clear stop loss that you're looking at, and you've got a clear take profit. And this is all very, very doable on the NQ. For those that trade the NQ, you know that it moves like an absolute beast. So hopefully that helps. And just for, let's just map out the YM. I find the YM a little bit more difficult, to be honest with you, but this is a clean map, so a clean chart. So let's take a look at it. All right, so we go down to the 15-minute time frame. Hopefully People that were looking for the levels are still stuck around because I'm going to show it to you here pretty easily. All right, first of all, this is in hindsight, okay? So don't take this for what it's worth, but let's just say that we were mapping this level from the morning. I like to map them at around 7:30. I post them in Discord at 7:45. That's another thing is I post the Discords, the levels exactly how I map them. I put them in Discord. It's all free. I don't charge for anything like that. On the 15-minute, obviously we had a level right here, and I would make this a solid blue line. And I mean, it's very simple. It taps into it and rejects down from it. We have another level right here. Hopefully you guys are starting to visualize this. You've got many down bars. You then have an up bar with strong movement out. That's all I'm looking for. There's probably 100 technical ways that I can explain this with terms that are used out in the market. But this is just what I see and makes sense. Let me give you another example here of one that I don't like. So right here. And why do I not like this? One, there was clear consolidation here, okay? There was kind of a retap right on this bar. Let me make this a little bigger. Right, also I could see price action right here. So you got a consolidation here, and then you kind of have a retap here. This level to me is a very weak level on the 15-minute time frame, okay? This to me right here, extremely strong. This to me right here at 38.061, extremely strong, okay? So, well, oil session 2 just started up, but no setup there yet. So I will switch over to the morning strategies as soon as I'm done with this, and there's no current setup. So now what I like to do is I will jump into the 5-minute time frame. On the 5-minute time frame, I am looking for the exact same scenario. In between these two strong levels where price action currently sits, I personally, I see this one right here. Let's go here. One dotted line to indicate to me that it's a 5-minute time frame. You might have another one right here. Not as great because you kind of have a tap in here, but at least we're building up opportunities. We're building up tradable opportunities where I can at least maybe take an entry on this lower level, have a clear defined stop loss, and at least to me have a chance at a winning trade. And then what do we see right here? Right there is another level. Let me just expand that so you can see what I'm looking at. What do we have? The same thing. Opposite candles, strong up, very strong down, continued down. That's it. It's not more technical than that. So another opportunity that I would see here would be, and I'm going to show you why I don't like it. What am I doing? Nope, not that one. Let's do a short position. So let's say you wanted to take a trade on the bounce here. This trade is already been used up, in my opinion. There is no reason to take this trade anymore. This would have been a great reason to take this trade right here. Okay, the first tap in, you've got a very clear stop loss that you can put with this level down here. And I mean, this would be super aggressive, but your take profit could be down to this level right here. I don't trade the YM a lot, but I would think that that's pretty aggressive. But again, it's kind of what you would need to do for risk to reward. And vice versa, here would be my trade on the long side off of this bounce. Let's say you can take this one, which I kind of like. You've got your predefined stop loss, and then let's just say all the way back up here to, now that's pretty aggressive. I necessarily would not trade this setup, or I might just have to bring my take profit down to something that's that makes it worthwhile to me, but it's not very clear. It's not as clear as the ES chart. So hopefully that makes sense. So do you guys at least have a clear indication as to how I trade levels, where I'm kind of looking at for that? If anybody has any questions on it, just let me know, and I will try to answer them before the stream is over. All right, so now we're looking for 2 more opportunities on our morning strategies. We're still looking for oil session 2, and we're finished with gold. So we had no setup in gold this morning. That kind of stunk, but it is what it is. You won't have a setup every single day. I would say you could probably account for 1 day out of the week where you don't get a setup in your session, but I would say on most days you will get a setup one way or the other. So now I'm just looking at my chart on the left-hand side. This is the only chart that we're looking at currently for a trading opportunity, and we currently have a setup, but there is still 3 minutes and 40 seconds left on this candle. I'll give you guys a little tip in Discord. Please don't post that we've got a setup that's coming when it's 3 minutes away. Exactly what I just said. We don't like to do that, just because. And I know a lot of the newer people to Discord, they figure out that very quickly that gets pretty annoying. Now, if you've got 10 seconds left on the candle and you say, "Hey, everybody, there's a setup coming in," that's useful. That is actually useful for a lot of people that are watching it, or taking a look at 2 different strategies at the same time. Looks like you're using supply and demand levels. Yeah, I think that there's, Justin, there's probably a lot of ways. There's probably a lot of ways to call it. There's probably a lot of different methodologies to it. I don't know why I just call it levels. It's just a clear line in the sand that I see with price action. If you guys find value of it, I'll maybe do a little bit more in depth, or I'll do a video on it. Again, so it's recorded. I'm actually not even sure if this is being recorded right now. I'm sure it is, but I'm sure I should hope that it's being recorded. So that if that helps anybody. Rob, if you had to pick one of your strats or a combo to pass 100K evaluation, what would be your approach? Okay, so great question. Honestly, taking out April, because April has really sucked on the strategies. The Rob reversal is down 5 trades, so that's a big hit on an eval. Okay, if you're trading strictly off the Rob reversal. Oil session 1 is up 72 ticks. So that would be a $720 winner, or $720 on an E-mini. Session 2 is down 18 ticks. Gold is down 57 ticks. So the morning strategies, if you add them all up together, are pretty much break even. The Rob reversal is the one that has dragged down the strats for April. Let's take April out of the equation and let's look at probably the prior 6 months. If you were trading all of the strategies, all 3, let's say gold, oil, and the NQ reversal, in the last, probably maybe taking out December, you would have probably passed that eval 2 or 3 times, because we were in profit for March about 4,500. We were in profit 4,500 for February, strictly off the Rob reversal. And that's trading them all to the tick, to 1 E-mini on all of those strats. And pretty similar stats, minusing maybe December. December wasn't the greatest, but it's also notoriously not the best trading month as well. Oh, we got to set up here in oil as I'm talking. Let's make sure. Yes, we do. So I'll straddle my order here. I might have straddled that a little bit early, but we'll see. 5 seconds left on this candle. All right, so now we are in. Price action came in a little bit quickly, so now I've got to put in my bracket orders manually, which I don't like doing, but it is what it is. All right. There we go. So we are set up here now in oil session 2. Hopefully we get a winner here to hopefully balance out the morning strategies. So Justin, hopefully that answered. I would probably just do a combo of the 3. One, it kind of gives you some good diversification as far as if one strategy isn't working very well and another one's popping, you're still moving in the right direction. So that's my personal opinion. Do you use a Rob reversal on the ES? Robert, I don't. I have really tested the crap out of it on the NQ. I like the movement of the NQ for that particular strategy. So that is the only instrument that I trade the Rob reversal on. Now, if you jump into my Discord, I'm not sure if you're already on there or not. You probably are, but if you're not, there is a lot of members here that will post, kind of alternate strategies that they have found to work in with the Rob reversal or even the inside bar strategies that I have. So hopefully that answers that. Yeah, the Rob reversal has been a problem child. Absolutely. I mean, it's affected my cash account. It's affected my eval accounts that I've been trading with it. It affected my funded account with it. So, and I'm kind of a unique situation because I trade one eval for the Rob reversal on its own, and I trade another eval for gold and oil. And the reason why I do that is, again, for 100% transparency, I show the stats every single day on the strategies, and I show what my profit and loss is on the dashboard. So that has made it where I don't really have one anchoring the other. It's either it's going to win or it's going to lose. The morning strategies obviously have been doing great. I think I got this account up to $1,500 in profit. Honestly, only trading 4 or 5 micros, not even E-mini. If I was traded the E-mini, I would have passed the eval on just the morning strategies in oil and gold. Honestly, only oil session 2 and gold. But, I kept it. This trade doesn't look very good here, so we might get a second loss in both sessions in oil. So those didn't cooperate this morning. But I'm not going to count this one out yet. We're not 100% done. Yeah, highly suggest joining the Discord. Like I said, it's free. There's some like-minded people on there. We share our wins, we share our losses. Sometimes I share my tears. I am the king of mistakes on YouTube, though. I mean, I literally, I think if I can figure out a way to make like a highlight reel of my mistakes, that would probably take my channel to a whole nother level, because I am the absolute king of missing trades or taking some mistakes that would have been winners. And I know I'm just kind of beating myself up for no reason, but it's the truth. So we're down on this one. This one is a little unfortunate just because it obviously tapped me in right on the move down. Looked like there was probably about a tick of slippage there on the micro MCL. Ken, glad that you liked my explanation on levels. Hopefully that did clear up. Now maybe you'll get some better value from the levels that I post every single morning on Discord. I didn't do it actually today because I thought that I would just leave the actual mapping of the charts for the stream, which obviously I think was beneficial. So in Discord, people are kind of discussing May contract versus June. I'm in June. I did take a look at the contract volume this morning, and I thought that the volume on June was much higher than May. But let me just take another quick look here. Oh shit! Looks like May's contract volume is actually double of June. That's weird because this morning it was stronger. The June was stronger than May. So kind of a unique situation because obviously on the commodities markets, you've got contracts moving, contracts come up to expiration. So it's important to jump into the most liquid contract that you can trade. So Ninja Trader yesterday gave me a heads up saying, hey, we're going to be switching over to the June contract. And I looked yesterday and the May contract was stronger than June. So I stayed on there. But this morning I compared May versus June, and the June contract had like a lot more volume than May. But currently, at least from what I'm looking at, it doesn't. So, and that'll affect your trades. You'll be very surprised because if you look at the May contract of oil, this would not even a valid setup yet because you're actually getting 2 inside bars in one. Let me just see if I can pop this chart over. We took a stop there. Son of a gun. Let's take a look here. Here we go. So this is my trading view chart, and this is trading, this has got the May contract here. These 2 bars are both inside bars, which honestly, I love this setup because when you get even more than one inside bar, I think it's even more showing more consolidation for the trade. And let's just see what this one would do. Wouldn't that be something? So 27 ticks of take profit, 27 ticks of stop loss. So again, this is the May contract. If I switch over to, that had 413 contracts. Let's take a look at June. No, see, June has got more. June's got more volume. You see how this was not an inside bar by a tick, so it missed the setup there. They don't match up the same. So I honestly think that you should be trading June, and that's what I took the trade on. So that was a loser. So unfortunately, we got two session losers on oil, no setup in gold. Obviously, funded an account today through the levels, which is always fun. Down 133 on the eval. And the part that sucks is that I really didn't take a trade in cash, so that was kind of a break-even day for, well, really nothing there. So that wasn't as fun. All right, your bots have saved me from having to trade it while at work. Yeah, it's you could say thanks to me, but honestly, the people in Discord, and especially Matt for Money, he's the man behind a lot of that. D. Alex, a huge thank you to you for helping me out, not only on Discord as a mod, but pretty much all the things that you do, answering a lot of the questions. Eric's out there. And I know as people get comfortable with my Discord, they're really on there for a long time. It's awesome because when I go to work, sometimes there's people answering questions that obviously I can't get to. So I want to say a huge thank you and a shout out to all of the members in Discord. You guys have been fantastic. Everybody in YouTube, thank you for your support. I'm going to cut the stream off here because we are done with the morning strategies. I will leave the Rob reversal running until 1:15. We'll see if that can capture anything. The stream will end now. If you've got any other questions, leave them on there. I think that I can answer a few questions once the stream has stopped. So thanks again, everybody, for the support. See you guys soon.